How's everyone doing today? Hope you all are doing absolutely wonderful on this Thursday, as I can hear myself. I didn't mute myself because reasons. So I'll wait a moment for let people trickle in as we begin soon. I don't know when the bots will be here. Hello, hello, hello. Was I 1 minute late? I might have been 1 minute late. Might be. Full refunds of your $0 spent. I promise. For being late. Sorry, I'm a little bit late, everyone. As you might be able to tell, I'm here alone today. And fun fact, it actually takes more time for me to set up the stream when it's just me, as opposed to myself and Brian. So, it happens. It happens indeed. But, you know, that's okay, because I still have a show for you today. Top Clack goes, you know, regardless of what we need to do, that's what we're here for. To make sure you guys can get some keyboard news for the week, start some keyboard discussions if need be, and have some good old fun with each other, because that's what it is all about. So, while we wait, I guess, for another 2 or 3 minutes, usually it's easier to vamp when I'm Brian. How's everyone doing today? Everyone in chat, hanging out. Zach and I am typing on my E6 right now. I'll put on gloves so I can pick it up from where it is on my desk to show you all. Actually, I'll wait till the mail call. Hello everyone who's joining in. You guys might have noticed Brian isn't here today. My co-host Quakeums is on vacation. He is having a wonderful time. So watch out, Idaho. You have a quake. Oof. Thank you, Nathan. I have been losing weight. It's been good. I've lost like 13 pounds in the last 3-ish weeks. Not too bad. My weight loss has slowed down a little bit, but it's still at a constant downward trend. So that's been going hunky-dory, all good. Yeah, I guess with that, let's hit this intro. Oof, there's a transition. I don't know where it was the first time, but there it is. Yeah, random note. Yeah, weight loss has been pretty good, pretty steady. If anyone's curious what I'm doing, I just stop eating any bit of food after 5 p.m. I only consume food that isn't water, coffee, or tea between 8 in the morning when I wake up or when I go to work and 5 p.m. That's the only time I allow myself to eat food, and otherwise I actually haven't like changed what I eat or how much I eat. I just eat within that period, and I've lost weight. And then like at night, if it gets late and I'm hungry, I just go to sleep because I'm like, oh, I'm too hungry to work. Go to sleep, wait for tomorrow when I can eat again. It's pretty crazy. So that's what I've been doing the last 3 weeks now. It's been pretty good. Do I wake up super hungry? Not really. I still usually don't eat until 9-10 o'clock. Have a quick snack in the office, have lunch, and then usually I won't eat after lunch, and I go through the whole day until the next day. But we can talk about that later in the Q&A. Everyone, welcome to this week's Top Clack. This week's Top Clack, as you might have noticed if you're joining now, Brian unfortunately isn't here. He is over in Idaho on a absolutely wonderful vacation. So shout out to Brian, having fun. I think he's at going to a Death Cab for Cutie concert, so that's pretty cool. I think he might be visiting some people, some of his girlfriend's family or something. I don't know, but he's on vacation. So Brian will be back next week at our normal time next week, even though this is normal time this week. But I'm here to give you guys some awesome news. But before that, we have the mail call. And this is an exciting week for the mail call. Why is this a very exciting week for the mail call? Because I got some mail this week. You guys might have known yesterday, I got some super super awesome things. Really awesome things. Like one of the most awesome things I got was yesterday. I got this decibel meter. So now when I do typing sounds in the future, I'm gonna put this next to the keyboard, and so the camera can be on it as well, so you guys can see how loud my typing sounds are. Like actually, it'll be actually a bit louder than IRL because this will be next to the keyboard as opposed to like at ear level. But hey, science, you know, science, putting numbers, putting relative, you know. Okay, the next really exciting thing. I know you guys were really excited when I showed this off, especially because so many people have been talking about it in the community. This week I got some pin gauges, and you might be wondering, what are pin gauges? Well, pin gauges are very small pins that have very precise diameter measurements. Why did I get these? I got these so I could measure the inside of cherry keycaps to see how thick the cruciform is. Because now that me and a few other community members have been measuring box stems as well as other stems from other switches, bam, got my pins. So now we can measure keycaps on the inside, because that's going to be great, because now we need the other side of the equation on why keycaps are cracking. Did I get anything else exciting this week? I'm not sure if I actually got anything else like that exciting. Like I got those things. I got some springs in, I guess. Oh yeah, of course. I got this cool thing called my E6 V2 brass Founders Edition number 18 out of 18. I don't know if you guys can see how shiny it is. I've been posting pictures earlier. Okay, here we go. You guys can kind of like see the reflection of like my monitor. There's a stream over there. There's some chrome stuff. Yeah. So, Exclusive did ship with these gloves, so people don't get fingerprints all on their keyboard. Center mount USB, so you can't use a normal 60% PCB, unfortunately. But still really cool. I just like center mounts because they look the best in general. I got all silver PVD, including the silver PVD plate insert. I know most people had something different for their mid layer, which is crazy. So I'm really liking this. I'm really enjoying this. I put Holy Pandas in here. The plate underneath is also the same, super shiny silvery PVD. I got the Win keyless because of my other E6. I got the HHKB, so I wanted to mix it up. So the cool news is yeah, I built that. It's super cool. It's super awesome. The bad news is after the stream, I basically have to like put it in like storage for like the next week because I'm working on another keyboard review, and I actually have to like go back and work on that keyboard review. Crazy. So yeah, it happens. But that is basically the mail call. That's been pretty good. One of the things that I'll be doing coming up soon, either tomorrow or sometime this weekend, on a keyboard chores is rebuilding the X60, because I took the Holy Pandas out of the X60. So look, guys, I have a single spare Holy Panda now. I got $5 right here. So it is time to do the news. The news is a pretty cool thing, a decent amount of things have happened this week. I wouldn't say a lot of things have happened. Some things have happened. So for the news this week, it's gonna be a little different. As you know, Brian isn't here. But he has opinions, and he wanted his opinions to be heard. So on our news doc, he actually like posted like all his opinions on every single news topic, because he's like, oh, I wish I could be there, Huey, but I'm on vacation. Well, yeah. So when I go through the news topics, I'll also be letting you guys know what Brian thought of each topic when we get to them. And with that, let's get to it. So let's get to the news viewer. Oh, no transition. Okay, thanks, screen. Thought you'd do that, but you didn't. So please try to impersonate Brian. I don't think I eat enough to do that. But I will try my best. I will try my best. Our first keycap news is for a set called SA Jack B Custom Key Set. This is done by Jack Studio and Percents. Yeah, this is a. You know, when I hear something called B, I'm expecting black and yellow, to be perfectly honest. But there's a B, but there's blue. Interesting. Interesting. I like the honeycomb with arrow. Some of the B novelties are kind of cool. I'm a bit worried about this the contrast on the B blue alphas. I think the B blue alphas are just not the way to go if you do like SA. Like B white, that's pretty nice. You know, it's blue and white. That's, you know, that worked pretty well with GMK. I don't think it worked too well with yeah. I don't know, but no modifiers. So the kits seem already pretty split up. Novelties are pretty good. Nordayuk for those crazy people out there. We got some alternative things here and there. Kolvorak. So it's basically your typical breakdown for an SA set. To be honest, man, not gonna be my keycap set of choice, even for SA. I don't know. This is an interest check. I think it's bound to change, and I think they should work on changing the B blue alphas. I think there could possibly be some potential here, but I'm not seeing it. And kind of like what Cena said, you know, I kind of like the B white alphas just because it has a reminiscent of Godspeed in a good way for these alphas, and that's kind of like all I'm looking for this set. Otherwise, those other alphas are, at the moment, in my opinion, not too good. Like, I wish they had the alphas, a mod kit, like that was just like monotone, like, or dual tone, just like the alphas. I just want that if I got this. Come on, just give me that blue on white and blue on white. That's all. That's all I'd really need, you know. All I'd really need. But speaking of bees, those aren't the only things in the world that fly, because ghosts fly. And ghosts are the prime inspiration for our next interest check, which is the interest check by Zandubi for SA Ectoplasm, a Ghostbusters inspired set. We got some renders, so thank you to Thesis Camper for the renders, rendered on Thesis's board. So yeah, this is what we're looking at in terms of colorway. Oh, I forgot. On the last set, Brian said, looks pretty fun. No renders, he reserves judgment. On this one, Brian says it seems pretty clean, and Brian really likes Ghostbusters, so Brian's liking this one. He said he likes this one. He said he likes Ghostbusters. I don't know how specific he was with liking the sets, but he said he likes Ghostbusters. The kit options are a bit odd, but I don't know. Do you guys think this is Ghostbustery enough? Too Ghostbustery? Like, for example, like I know, you know, Ghostbusters known for more slime, like a really neonish green, but like, would that actually work well in a key set? I think having a more subtle green like this is a better homage. That's what I think, to be honest. I think like if you went with like, because the picture, you know, they use the straps for the backpacks, for whatever this is, because reasons. I'm not feeling that enter key. Like, I know the theme, but like I'm just gonna say no on the enter key. I think it's too off. It's too off for me. That enter key. Otherwise, I'm kind of with Brian. It seems pretty decent. I think they should rework how the kits are formatted. But other than that, not too bad, not too bad. I feel like it doesn't even need, it didn't even really need to have it didn't need to have the Ghostbusters theme to it. Like, I feel like they could have just done like a drab olive theme, you know, like drab, like just, you know, like drab olive army bags, like someone was saying, like military-ish. My other weird issue is, like, I think it might just be with the renders, because with the renders, I'm not crazy, but that spacebar color is in fact a different color than the alphas. I'm pretty confident, and I'm also pretty confident I haven't been responsible like Brian, because Brian's on here and giving you guys links and chats. But that looks different for the spacebar color. But when I look at this bigger kit breakdown, this spacebar is the same color. So I'm hoping that it was just rendered with the wrong colored spacebar. Not sure how that happened, but maybe that was just a small mistake in rendering. Because on the big picture, it's yeah, unless there's another spacebar kit that's not displayed. But honestly, like, yeah, this would be a better military kit than any of the military themed sets out there right now. Like SA grade, not grade, SA, you guys know what I'm talking about. So yeah. So that's SA Ectoplasm. I say it's decent if I could, when I choose a normal enter, and I just wouldn't care about the theme for this set. That's all. Like, I would just say this is just, you know, some kind of like army olive is what I'd call this, or something. You know, that's all I'd go with. I wouldn't even associate this with Ghostbusters, if I was perfectly honest. Because when I see just this colorway, like if you had just 3 blocks of color, you know, green, that beige-ish, and white, and you had just those, I would just, or like the black for the alphas, I would just think like army beige, more than I would think Ghostbusters. Because when I think Ghostbusters, I would think like the logo is red and white, you know, with the circle, the X, and the ghost, right? Or I'd think of like the green slime. So those are the 2 things I think of Ghostbusters. Even though it's very, you know, the characters are very, very central and important, but when I think of the Ghostbusters, like, in the activeness part of it. But yeah. So theme, no. Colorway, I'm okay with. Not the enter key. Well, that's about it for the keycap news. Unfortunately, it wasn't too much, but we still have some interesting keyboard news coming up. And coming up, we have the pre-order for the Tofu HHKB, also known as the HHKB layout hotswap DIY kit in black, dark gray, light gray, and silver options. Interestingly, it is hotswap and switch top removable. The USB port thingy, looks like it slides left and right, because they'll possibly have a different PCB that has a port on the right side, as the pictures indicate. So that's a thing. Oof, Zambumon with the hitting them with the links for me. Thanks, buddy. I don't know if this is a different link, but Brian says it looks like another winner from KBD Fans. Case seems to support USB port on left or right, which is neat. Due to the fancy PCB in the news, which we'll cover later, it's only available in that color for the Swaparino left and right, I believe, according to Brian. But okay, the new USBC. It supports double USBC, QMK with the QMKeyboards.cn, 6063. It's pretty decent price. When I see something like this, like, oof, this seems pretty decent, to be perfectly honest. It's like all around as a deal. It's like I kind of would say, why would you want to get the Tina over this at this point? That's how I feel about this. Like, that geometry looks really clean, similar to some other boards with clean geometries that are 60%, and also HHKB layouts. yeah, this is kind of it. Like, I wonder. I really hope it'd be really cool in the future if the slider part they would offer them in like different colors, like a red one. So if you want to match your keycaps just because you want to be blinging, you know, or have like a black board with a silver one, or just, you know, something crazy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I hope you know what I'm saying. But I kind of want to get one of these to review or try out or something. You know what I'm saying? The plate looks decent. It looks like it'll definitely get the job done. We will see. We will see. I wish I had an open view of it, but from what I can see, it looks like it is a top-mounted plate. So yeah, aluminum weight is upgraded to brass weight for free is the update. So there's gonna be a brass one, guys. Oh, it's an integrated plate. That's right. It's integrated, not integrated. Is it integrated? Pretty sure that seam looks like, I can't see. But yeah, I mean, it's not tray mount. So the people who want to move away from tray mount is basically like, there you go. This is probably one of the cheapest ways that you can move away from tray mount and try something else out without going like full custom territory. And KBD Fans has definitely been nailing the people who want to transition from like, I got my Corsair Bluetooth wireless with RGB reds, to like, I kind of want to build a board. So yeah, I think this is going to be a major hit for KBD Fans. One of the things I always wondered whenever they have all these new products, which we talk about all the time, because KBD Fans is always cooking up new things. I have a question for all of you guys. You know, the biggest hit KBD Fans has had that really launched them to where they are now was the KBD 75. That was huge when it came out. I really don't think they've had basically another product as big or successful as the KBD 75. You know, sure, the 5 degrees sold a ton, but like, in like hindsight, you don't think of the 5 degree as positively as many people think of the KBD 75. So I think this might be like their next best shot to be like, to have something that was big and important for them. But we'll see. We'll see. Everyone knows, you know, they've had issues in the past with consistency. 5 degree, really bad anodization. Tina, better. Not great anodization by any standards, but a lot better. You know, I have the KBD pad right here. Better than the Tina and the 5 degree, oddly enough. So let's see how they do, because they are doing new products out. You know, they got the 8X out recently that they just had the second stock up on. So, you know, major shout outs to KBD Fans. Check out this pre-order for the Tofu HHKB layout hotswap DIY kit. And they have great customer service. I don't know if you guys have talked to the customer service. They've shipped something wrong to me before, and I talked to them. It was resolved. Like, it was nighttime for me, so I like messaged them. I went to sleep. I woke up. Everything was just solved. And I'm like, okay, there we go. So that's pretty nice indeed. So let's move on to another 60% that has made its splash a day ago on Reddit. This one, I believe, comes with much more mixed reactions, and this is the Ducky One Mini. The Ducky One Mini. Well, the Ducky 1-2 Mini. That's a 2 sign. It just doesn't really look like it. There's just 2 cones next to each other. So they got a dual bezel design. So top bezel, top bottom, closed top and bottom. To give you a double color. They got the USB Type C, moving the people who are still into OEMs into the USBC realm. You know, we got adjustable rubber feet for 3 different angles: the base angle, small angle, and wrist breaker. We got some PBT double shot seamless keycap, which Brian actually specifically commented in. Let's see, he said worst OEM caps he has ever seen, which is funny because like based off of these pictures, this picture alone, like you can see that the lighting under the keycap isn't even, or the double shooting also isn't even for some of the lines for the Legends. Yeah. It's a mid-profile keyboard, which, in my opinion, and Brian's opinion, does look really, really odd and a bit out of place, but it's different. USBC, cool. That's kind of the thing, and I guess RGB. But let's if anyone gets this or recommends this to someone, I'd highly recommend them. I use that word a lot now. Another keycap set, because that keycap set is yikes. Go find someone who has a spare K-type keycap set and give them that instead, because that would be better, even though it might not feel better, grittiness and all. I don't know. I'm honestly not really feeling it at all. Like I loved the original Ducky Mini with the bezel. Like Ducky Mini was the bezel before bezel became popular, and I absolutely loved that board. I had it with MX Blues. I thought that was great, and when I heard they're making a new 60%, I thought they would follow in the path of that Ducky Mini and do something radical like that. And this just seems half-baked and just no. So excuse me. Try this fan before I all this dust in my room and blowing around. So I'm just gonna say, no, don't even get this board. You know, I know they discontinued the original Ducky Mini, but MK.com sells basically the Ducky Mini. They renamed it, rebadged it to be a MK.com board. But like, just get that. And it's only dual color, not RGB. Just get that. That's like a better OEM 60% than this IMO. Aside from the right side, left side USB-C, USB Mini, and non-RGB. But hey, this one has Cherry MX RGB switches and a unique radar lighting mode, whatever that means. But hey, it is how it is. Allergic to half-baked keyboards. Yeah, that too. So that's probably as much as I want to cover about this board. I think the universal opinion about this is it's just extremely meh. I think the big point we'll decide on, which Ducky has been very active in the comments. They don't have a price point yet, and if it's anything over $120, it's going to sink so hard. Arguably, anything over $100 would sink pretty down. It's not reprogrammable. You're stuck with their function layer, which is decent depending on what you like or what you don't like. You know, some people like mouse controls like they have them. You know, having your arrows as JKL, I, other small, but all the there's like small minor programming stuff, but it's all inboard. Yeah. Let's go over a much more exciting interest check though. And this is by Water Lee. And this is the interest check for the Reborn 60%. The Reborn 60% is it's a pretty little board. There's a pretty little ditty here. Reborn 60% keyboard. We just have some prototype pics, which looks pretty decent. You know, got that swoop, which is becoming a lot more popular these days. You know, got a little swooperino right here. Swooperino. Side arcs, that's a good way to label them. I don't know why I call them swoops. That's what I'm calling them now. Just little side swoops. Yeah, the HHKB layout looks like you got to render for a wind keyless layout and a normal 60% layout. So what are we looking at the prices so far? So far, base kit $260, brass plate $50, extra brass plate $50. If you want to upgrade to a brass plate, it's only $10. So base kit with the brass plate is going to be $270, and that's also with the QMK PCB as well. And there's going to be an option for silver, gray, red, pink, light blue, and Mao. And let's hit up this More Pictures album, because who doesn't want to see more pictures of a beaut like this? So one thing I've noticed on quite a few boards lately, and I've talked to just a handful of people about this, and for a lot of people, this can be a real hit or miss. So on the back side, you guys see how it's angled, and you have that big flared angled up. When you have that, you have all these exposed screw holes. The screws may not be exposed. The screws, usually hide in those little screw holes, but you see those screw holes on the front. Does that bother you guys? Are you guys okay with that? Do you live with that? Yes, no. What do you guys think? I think that's on some boards becoming very prominent as a design, just to get that angle in the front, and still retaining the screws by the edge. You're gonna have those screw holes. What do you guys think? You guys like it? You guys don't like it? I know some people don't care because they can't see it. Some people, even if they can't see it, they know it's there and they don't like it because, keyboards are a lot of keyboards that are, custom, that we pay this money for a lot of times, is what I would sometimes call functional art, right? It's functional. We use it as something that we can type on every day, but at the same time, some people really like it as a piece of art through and through that they can use. And my prime example is, of course, my E6. Yeah. So I think it only really bothers me if it changes, if it makes the USB port weird. Because sometimes the angle really cuts into or around, or it does something funky with the USB port. That's when it gets to me, for some reason. Otherwise, I'm kind of with Nathan, aka Fieldy Hood Music. If it's done well, adds a great industrial look. If it's done poorly, then, as someone else in chat said, it looks unfinished. And that's kind of one of the things that is really a board by board issue. So we'll see. We'll see. By these renders, there is going to be a brass insert on the bottom, which is really cool. And it looks like, based on this, it's going to be a slab on the inside, but an actual design on the outside. Curious to see more and better pictures of that as it's coming along. So, Mr. Waterlee, I'll be keeping my eye out on this one because, yeah. I don't know. $260. $260. I would get one for $260. Actually, I know a lot of people did mention before, this is very similar to the QXP, another 60%. It has that side swoop, or as the more architecturally savvy may call them, arches, but side swoop. You get the PCB, you get the case, you get a plate, $260, $270 for the brass, and I'm guessing after that you still got to pay your shipping and your PayPal. So we're looking at probably $300-ish for the kit, depending on where you live, right? To be honest with you, how well do you think this captures the people who wanted the QXP and misses out versus, the people who... that's actually mostly it, huh? Like, what would you guys think if this ran at the same time as the QXP by Contric? Like, would you guys feel like you had to go for sure one more than the other one? Because a big thing for these boards is just that swoop, in my opinion. Like, that's kind of like the defining feature. I think this one has more of the front angle. But I feel like it's kind of like, if you were looking for that kind of look, the dolphin-esque look, it's one or two, right? One or two. QXP or Reborn. So I think it's a toss up. Brian got the QXP. Maybe I'll get this, and Brian and I can maybe do like a head-to-head throwdown of both boards. We'll see. We'll see. That'd be a pretty interesting showdown. Because I think there's a lot of pros and cons for both boards. So that's That's gonna be the big thing. But let's talk about something that basically, in my opinion, has no con at all, as far as I know, which is fellow keyboard streamer Tiny. Because Tiny is an absolutely wonderful person. If you didn't watch, over 3,000 people watched Tiny's Seattle meetup stream on Twitch, which is absolutely wonderful. And you know what? I want Tiny to do more streams, and I hope you should want her to do more streams too. So, if you can, you know, check out Tiny's content, and hey, support her. Feel free to donate. Her setup is really, really awesome. She walks around with a camera, interacting with chat, you know, and she's streaming as she's walking, and it's absolutely great. So, check out this link that I haven't posted yet, and I'm about to post. And, you know, support her if you get a chance. Watch her content if you haven't had a chance to either. It is much different content than what I do and what Brian does, but it's still keyboard content. And here at Top Clack, we want to support other keyboard creators, and not only ourselves. So that's why we've had, you know, so many other hosts of and presenters of other keyboard shows and content creators on our show, because keyboard content is great for everyone. It's great for you. It's great for me. It's great for Tiny. It's great for people at meetups, and it's great for people who can't go to meetups. Because the meetup was great. I couldn't make it, but I saw snips here and there of the stream, and it was extremely, extremely awesome that I was able to, you know, catch bits of the stream from watching, bits of the meetup from watching her stream, and that's an absolutely wonderful, wonderful thing. So check that out check her out when you get a chance, because she is someone really awesome. And if you want to support that, I highly recommend it. And, you know, if there's other keyboard content creators in the community you want to support, I highly recommend you support them. This is a small and growing community, and if we can support each other, let's try to do it. We're all working hard to make better content for y'all, I promise. Let's move on to the next topic. Our next topic is also back to KBD fans. I know we kind of we brushed upon this, but this is the double Type-C PCB KBD 6X Win Keyless Hot Swap 60%. Oof. Okay, guys. This is what I've been waiting for a long time, you know. Hot swap board, Win Keyless bottom row. Okay, what that split space bar. We got that split right shift. Like come on. Right? It's black, so it looks really, really nice. It has, you know, left and right USB ports for the Tofu HHKB, so you can go a slide to the left, slide to the right, 2 hops this time, bump, bump. 2 hops this time, bump, bump. You know what I'm talking about. So yeah. And I guess the R's, Guz, and Buzz underneath. So, yeah. Like for the last picture, for some reason, they put like hold tights in one of the LEDs. And then they didn't do any of the other ones. They're like, right, hold tights are horrible. Let's just stop at the first one. So, yeah. Yeah, so this PCB. And this PCB is at $40. $40. And this is only $10 more than a lot of people getting B-fakes for $30 and making the same layout without USBC B-dubs. So, yeah. This is kind of super really cool. I'm a big fan of this. This is looking pretty groovy. They're all sold out at the moment, unfortunately, but they're probably coming soon again, because that's how KBD Fans does. They do how they is, and how they is pretty sick in the good way. Not in the other ways of being sick, but like 90s referential sick, you know, like, yeah. So check this out when you get a chance. KBD Fans, check this out. Check their Tofu HHKB, because this is a match made in heaven. You know, it's like the Tofu's like, hold on, I'm not complete. The Tofu's like, I'm gonna take a piece of my rib and create a PCB out of it, and bam, the 6X Win Keyless Hot Swap 60% double type USB-C PCB was created. So check this out when you get a chance. When you get a chance, and hopefully it is sooner than later. I don't even know if I shared the link for you guys yet, but I'm going to share the link right now again. So let's move on to our next topic, and this is where things get real. How real? Mathematically and scientifically real. And this is a box switch update from Mike himself of Novelkeys. So let me just copy pasta for you guys right here. So, background information. Box switches currently have an x-axis that is 1.32 millimeters plus or minus 0.02 millimeters for tolerance. Mike didn't really clarify that, but what he means is there is a plus stem, you know, for all MX style keycaps. On the x-axis, the thickness of that stem, of that bar, is on box switches is 1.32 millimeters plus or minus 0.02. That's what he means by just the x-axis is. Yeah. So at the moment, a lot of users starting last week have reported issues of GMK keycaps cracking due to box switches, or just cracking, and then people were like, they're all on box switches. Let's do some investigations. I also took part in the investigations on Keep Talk. I posted a lot of measurements I took of a few of my box switches. I have more to take this weekend, as well as Keycaps measure this weekend. So on this update from Mike, he's saying that KL has agreed to change all the stems for future box switches to 1.3 millimeters plus or minus 0.02. He has currently taken all of his box switches off of his site. They all say out of stock at the moment, and he's planning on restocking all of them with the new 1.3 millimeters. That's for everything. Okay, that's for everything. A few more details. The reason they had thicker ones is because a company called Dare You said, like, do it. And Kale's like, you're the only one buying. Got it. And they never switched it back because he never thought it was a problem. There's a few things overall, and there's a lot of thoughts I have about this because I've been someone who has been really following this, and I've been measuring, I've been talking, I've been hypothesizing and sciences. Like, I've talked to Melissa at Signature Plastics. We have a small little email chain where we've been talking about the issue, whether or not, Signature Plastics have issues, their measurements. GMK so far has been just silent about the measurements and specs of their stems, which is literally why I bought these pin gauges, so I can measure the inside of their keycaps, because you're not going to fit your calipers in there accurately. So I have these. So there's a lot of issues. So through all the independent measuring that I've done and the other users on Keep Talk, shout out to everyone on Keep Talk who submitted their measurements for the giant Excel sheet that we have, by the way. We all agree with Mike that KL spec of 1.32 plus or minus 0.02 millimeters is our mean and median for the x-axis thickness. We also have the y-axis. From Cherry specs, which they have publicly released, Cherry is within their own spec. When Cherry says they produce a batch of keycaps 1.32 millimeters plus or minus 0.02, they actually do that. KL manufactures their switches to the specs they indicate. And now they're saying they're going to make a smaller spec. So at the moment, I trust them to make their new switches at the smaller spec, which I can test once I have those newer switches. I have more thoughts about this whole issue, though, because that's only one side of the story. Because what is GMK's specification? What is GMK's range of tolerance? Could, for example, GMK be, the heretical thought that could GMK be bad at making stem cruciforms? I don't know. We don't know. The measurements are so small, and no one has really taken them as a third-party individual, and that's where I plan to start soon. That's why I have these. So we have one side of the story, and and then the middle part of the story is even if if KL goes down to 1.3, is that small enough? Because of the small amount of data we have for other normal cross stem switches, they range between 1.23 and 1.29, plus or minus 0.02. So if they go smaller 1.3, we don't necessarily know yet if that is small enough. That is a TBD. There have been now reports of issues with max keys. I think 1 or 2 enjoy PBT. Now a few with SPSA, which I need to talk to Melissa about, because she's like, no, we're invincible. But obviously they're not. They're signature plastics after all. So we're gonna have a lot more measurements, a lot more things to look at. And one of the cool things about this is as a community, we can actually start working together with measurements, with accuracy, with these discussions. But look, I'm scrolling through the box switch down. Look at all the measurements I posted. This is me. I was stupid. I stayed up till 3 o'clock measuring the x-axis length, y-axis length, x-axis thickness, y-axis thickness, getting these. And once I did these, for some reason, I convinced other people to do this too, and other people have also done this. So yeah. So right now, all I have about GMK keycaps is a 1987 Cherry, when they still own the molds, released their information about the stem thicknesses, and I have that, and that is small. Plastic is naturally supposed to have some elasticity to it. I know it sounds weird because it's a hard material, but for example, if your keycaps are the same size or too small, technically they'd slide right off, right? They have to be slightly bigger than the cruciform, so there's friction that keeps them in. There has to be. That's natural. To what degree and what could affect that, we still need to figure out those factors. There's a lot of things here. So if you want to get involved in the discussion, I highly recommend you do. But check out Mike's announcement, because Mike's announcement is really big and really important, because a lot of people are worried about damaging their keycaps. That's a very realistic fear and concern, because you might have bought $150 keycap, your maybe even your first $100 keycap, maybe $150 is a lot for you for a keycap. Even if the damage is minimal and it's still very usable, there's a big issue of the fact that you tried using your product, those keycaps, normally, and then they broke from something that you couldn't control. That sucks. So definitely want to get involved more. Feel free to join the conversation. It's great. Thank you, Mike, Mike has been handling this really, really well. He's been very, very open. He's been open communication with Kale. Like, while all this was happening, he was on his way to Seattle meetup, and he and Kale were like talking back and forth, like, what's happening, what's changes, what are your measurements, are you sure your measurements are your measurements? And they've been going back and forth. So I'm hoping that these will resolve the issues. We're not sure yet. Like I said, this is only one side of the picture, but I'm really happy Mike has been really, really open about his side of the picture, and that's a great thing. That's a great thing. Let's move on to our next small topic. We'll revisit this topic in the Q&A section later. Trust me, it's better. It's really good. But over at Novelkeys, Mike is doing an Alps Switch group buy for SKCM oranges, salmons, whites, white salmons, SKCL yellows, locks, and SKCM black switches. They're all pretty kind of can be pricey depending on which ones. Like oranges are looking at 92 cents, per switch. Buy them in packs of 10, of course. So hey, this is a great source for people who maybe have never tried Alps before and want to try your first Alps, and you didn't want to do the pain of buying an old board and desoldering yourself, or you just didn't have good luck in finding those boards, because not anyone can find SKCM oranges the easiest sometimes. Sometimes you're trying to compete with a lot of people to get oranges. I was lucky and I got oranges from the group buy runner that sold me my AEK 64. Right? I was lucky there, but not everyone can be so lucky. Oranges, salmon's pretty popular. SKC and black's really easy to lube up and make to be decent linears. Whites are a very, very wonderful clicky when they're really clean. Actually, we're talking about how nice they were if they were clean earlier in Top Clack. Lock switches only sell by one at a time. They're $3 each if you want that old-fashioned lock. So that is a awesome, good thing. So check this out when you get a chance. This is a group buy. I'm pretty sure because these are Alps, there are limited quantities, of course. Expected ship date all the way out in December. So make yourself a checklist because you might be ready for an awesome Christmas build while you watch the Christmas Top Clack episode in December. So that would be a really cool thing to do, you know? Maybe we can have a Alpine Christmas. Alps Christmas. Christmas in the Alps. Christmas with the Alps. I'll think of something when the time comes, and it'll be cheesy, and Brian will probably reject the idea before Christmas happens. I'll work on it, though. I'll work on it. For now, check out the novelkeys.xyz Alps group buy. Gonna be a good time. Last topic, of course, for this section. Still at Novelkeys. Mike's just busting out product after product, you know what I mean. You got the big Switch PCB. For $30, you got a PCB... yeah, for the big Switch. I don't know what else there is to say. I don't know what else. It has RGB LEDs, 4 of them. It has a ton of pins. You want to like hook it up to like a solenoid or other crazy things, or hook it up to like a normal hand wire board, so you can have like a giant escape key and then your rest of your hand wire board. I mean, it's exactly that. You can get a big Switch case over at Woodkeys, by the way. I think Mike might be planning on stocking some soon. Or you can ask one of the acrylic cutters in our community to make you one. But big Switch. I wonder how much solder you'll need for those giant pads. How long it'll take to heat the pad up. Heat the pad in the pin. And just churn solder. You know, the whole soldering situation. So... That's exciting. That's exciting indeed. So check that out. I do think it's a bit pricey in my personal, honest opinion but at least it comes feature rich with QMK and the RGBs, mini USB. Make yourself a desk lamp like Mike recommends, or be creative and tell me what's the coolest thing that you'd make with this. I don't know. You tell me, because I don't know yet, but maybe you do. Maybe you do. So, what else is happening? Top Clack 2-year anniversary is going to be coming up very soon. How soon? In 3 weeks. On August 23rd, 2018, Top Clack will be celebrating our 2-year anniversary. That's going to be awesome. Top Clack have been 2 years since we started on this silly adventure. Back when it was Bektor, Brian, and I, and we just talked. Like, there was no structure to the show. Like, there wasn't like, here's the intro, here's the mail call, here's the news, here's the sponsors. It was just like, how are you doing today? You good? Yeah. Do you build anything today? I don't know. How about you? Did you see this thing and how it does? Yeah, that was really how it started. And then eventually we're like, let's get better. And now here we are. But 2 years. So keep in mind there's going to be a lot of exciting things. I'll start telling you. Brian's not here, so I can start telling you guys things now. So starting next week, we will unveil one of the competitions for the 2-year anniversary. There will be, I believe, 4 or 5 competitions for the 2-year anniversary. And each of the competitions will have a winner winning some kind of prize for each one. Woo, 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 woo. We will release when the competitions start, we will tell you what they are, so people can't, try to start their competition entries early. All the competition entries will actually be due before the 2-year, because on the 2-year anniversary episode, we'll announce the winners, which means we need to have time to review them. So next week, we'll be releasing at least the rules and how to enter and everything for one of them, 5 competitions, as well as we will have a raffle, a Top Clack raffle. Anyone can join, and it's it's a special kind of raffle because it's a raffle where you could take a chance to get more tickets. But if you mess up and trying to get more tickets, you might be stuck with only one ticket, which is still like the same thing as joining and not trying. So keep in mind, we have things planned. It will be really, really fun. So that's going to be on the 23rd. Expect like a 2 to 3 hour episode. It's going to be long. We got things to do. We got things to talk about. We got tops to clack, if you know what I mean. Fitzy said, will we have to watch the episode to be in the competition and raffles? No, you do not have to actually be in attendance to claim your prize if you win. We want to make sure anyone can join, and anyone can potentially win. You know, no matter of, I don't want, people like staying up to like 4 a.m. to watch the episode, and like 7 a.m. the episode ends, and they're late to work. We don't want that. We're working men. We know how it is because we do. So keep that in mind. Other small little announcement things. You guys might have known 2 months ago, after the New York City meetup, I did a little recap episode with Pudsey, another attendee of the New York meetup, and also another very prominent community member. Brian will be doing something very similar once he gets back from vacation with b-randen of SM Keys, which is the Seattle meetup nonprofit organization. He is the main host, the head honcho of the Seattle meetup scene. He's going to be doing a recap with Brian. They're going to do a recap together, and it's going to be really, really, really good. So it'll be similar to what Pudsey and I did, where like they're going to share their stories about the meetup, their highs, their lows, and everything. It's just going to be them two. I won't even be there. I'll be in the audience with you guys, eating my popcorn, drinking my butter, and being an American. Oh, something like that. Yeah, so that's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be coming up soon whenever Brian gets back from watching Death Cab for Cutie. So sponsors, thank you. And after the sponsors, we'll get to the Q&A, which I'm sure will include talking about box switches, because box switches. Thank you so much to Input Club. I can talk today. Input Club and Kono.store for their awesome support. All of our sponsors, by the way, are going to be supporting the giveaways. So they're going to have really, 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 really cool stuff. So Kono.store, check out their X1 Kickstarter going on right now. You got the Kira going on for the pre-order. You got DSA Groove going on. GMK Triumph Adler 90. It's going until the 12th. Hit it up while you get a chance, as well as those keycaps, because come on. Next up, of course, we have Zeal PC, our wonderful, wonderful friend in Canada, who's still running on that Zephyr Round 2 Zephyr. Hope you guys like it. It is an amazing looking board. Amazing. If I didn't get this E6, I probably would have considered getting that, but this E6 costs a lot of money, so I don't have that much left. He also has some wonderful Xylem switches, which I highly recommend, but only if you lube them. Don't use them stock. Lube those. Telios, of course, they're great. Zelios, great. My personal favorite is either 62 or 78. I'm the man of the extremes. I can do this, the 62s or 78s. I don't like the 65s or 67s. TBH, perfectly honest. He's got that PCB. He's got other switches. Join up when you get a chance. Moving on, next is who I've already talked about a lot this episode, but Novelkeys, now offering mod switches, so check those out when you get a chance. Check out those Alps Switch group buy, because I know a lot of you guys probably haven't tried Alps yet, or haven't had enough Alps to want to experiment with Alps. Because maybe you have an Alps board, but you haven't tried an Alps board lubed, and you want another batch to do that with. There you go. Get some orange Alps, Get some SKCM blacks. Get some salmons. Get some get a lock switch for your caps lock, because you are just going to be that much cooler if you do. Good luck getting key sets, because I feel like Alps key set prices are going to start going this way once this group buy ships. But until then, major hats off to Novelkeys. Check out his ever so wonderful products at his store. Next up, we have the Beast in the East. Z Frontier. Z Frontier is always running so many wonderful key sets and keyboards. If you're thinking about running a set and you need a Asian proxy, Z Frontier are the guys to go with. they're running so many things like proxying for DSA Milkshake. They've done it for Burgundy, Terminal, Camping. They run their own sets like the Peach Air Dice Up Key set, Metro Alert, and it goes on and on and on and on. Of course, they are the reason, one of the main reasons that CAP exists. So major shout outs to them. Check it out. They're going to have a lot of cool new keyboard products coming up very soon that they've teased to us that I can't release to you guys yet. But keep your eye out for the next awesome keyboard custom they'll have on their site. And a fun fact, Brian and I will actually be doing an AMA on Z Frontier's Chinese site in the very, very near future for Chinese Top Clack watchers and the Chinese community, because they have questions for us and we have questions for them. So that's going to be a very, 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 very fun time. So let's move on with the Q and the A. If anyone has any questions or answers, feel free to tag the @TopClack sign in chat, and I'll get to those questions, and we will get talking as we always do. But I have a question for everyone this week. What's the highlight of your week? What's the highlight of your week? One thing that stood out that made you smile or made you go, it's a good time to be alive. Today we had free Chinese food at work. That was one of the things I was like, that's the day, because today's Top Clack. I got free Chinese food. Life is great. People woke up. Purple tofu case, very, very nice. Fizkey getting a Zephyr. 11227 is hot dog a sandwich. That's quite the okay, that's quite the debate, and we're gonna really quickly talk about this debate. Okay, this is the sandwich alignment chart for you guys who may not be in the know, because sandwiches are very, very important in this world. So I'm gonna put this on screen while I do the thing. You guys can talk about this because this is very, very important. Ray or Oscar? Oscar, easy. I'd rather have Oscar than Ray any day. Yeah, one Oscar, you're getting 2 prototypes of Aquaria, and you can't wait. That is totally awesome. Let's see. Big meeting with SP business launching soon. Need another sponsor? Hit us up, possibly. I'm with Zekin though. Misato is like the best girl of Evangelion. Because come on. But okay, so sandwich alignment chart. Where do you guys land? Is a hot dog a sandwich? Are you true neutral? A hot dog is a sandwich? Do you care more about the ingredients or the structure? Because I feel like that's the key thing right there. What is this show anymore? This is what happens when Brian isn't here. Okay, that's enough of this. I'm sure you guys have a Pop-Tart as a sandwich. That's the worst. No, okay, but yeah, it's just one of those things. Raging Agent asks, did you have to sticker any of your MX Xylons due to loose tops, moving, and clacking? I did not, and I have not, because I haven't really noticed that as an issue. I still have, like, so many Switch films I haven't done anything with. Maybe I will very soon. I don't know what I have all these polycarbonate films. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with them yet. I might put them in my 63.5 because spring weight memes. MX clear, my ergo clears, but that's a TBD situation. So, yeah. That's how I feel. Well, man, this debate about sandwiches is getting intense. You guys are really, some of you guys are really, really adamant about these kind of things. But hey, you know, it can matter. It can matter. Nero Winter is asking, for your first custom, your first GMK, should I change from your original plan of Hako Royals and get Xylons? If you have a concern about your keycaps cracking, you should definitely consider, highly consider getting Xilinx overwhells for that reason. If you're asking me that because you're wondering, should you get a tactile switch that is the Holy Hawk Royals, or a silent linear, or a, no, sorry, you're talking about Xilinx, MX Xilinx, sorry, yeah. Or you're talking about getting the Xilinx from Zeal. I think they're both great options. As stock switches in terms of feel, Hawk Royals, in my opinion, are better. Xilinx are better, though, when you have them lubed on a nice brass plate, in my opinion, or a steel plate, something firm. So that cushion, so you really get the effect of that cushion without the cushion being cushioned by something else, which in my opinion gives too much cushion. That's how I feel about that. If you plan on lubing, I highly say Xilinx. And if you're worried about stem cracking, Xilinx. That's what it's going to be until the new box switches come out. Then that's always going to be a concern in that respect. Drifting Bunnies, if you'd only keep 3 keyboards, which ones would you keep? Absolutely great question. Absolutely great question. If I could only keep 3 keyboards, which keyboards would I keep? If I could only keep 3 keyboards, which one would I keep? Well, when it arrives, one of them would probably be my Norberforce Real Force 87U, but when I get my new case, which I'm getting a rose gold Norberforce. So those are going to be shipping really soon. I'm really excited about those. That's my Hypro HHKB. And for the third board, today, right now, if you ask me, probably my E6. But if you didn't ask me right now, and you asked me sometime in the past, I might have considered possibly my Unicorn, even though it has so many. No, I've had to put so much work into getting this stupid thing to be good because the plate was cut wrong, the case was cut wrong, it doesn't take screw and stabs. This issues, but this is still like a board that, because I've had to put so much work, resonates with me. The fact that I really like how it feels because I put a lot of work into this. This one's a really good one. Yeah. So it'd be those 3 with the third one fluctuating between that one, that TKL, and my E6. Probably. That's it right there. Let's see. Blind Assassin, did I get any ALP switches from the group buy? If so, which ones? Have I considered getting the Nexus sliders? I have not getting any. I have not chose to buy any ALP switches yet from the group buy. I'm still on the fence if I even want to commit to another ALPS build, because I'm already going to be paying a lot for those switches, and then I need to source keycaps from somewhere afterwards. So I'm kind of half-baked on the idea. You did mention Nexus sliders. If I got Nexus sliders, I would solve the latter issue by replacing it with needing to buy Nexus sliders to use any of my existing GMK keycap sets. What I think about them, to be honest, I haven't tried them, and for me that's like one of the major setbacks, because a new kind of stem will always have the issue of, compatibility in terms of how scratchy it can or can't be, and that's something that can be really apparent when you're mixing 30-year-old plastic with 2-day-old plastic, because the tolerances could be extremely different from then and there and here and now. So if I can try Nexus sliders, even just a handful of them, and I can be like, okay, these are smooth, or these are smooth enough to be smooth with lube, I would generally consider them, since, the tactility a lot for Alps, if I'm getting a tactile one, comes from the leaf for the most part. And if it's linear, then as long as it needs to be, smooth enough, Gucci gang. Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. Thank you for the question. Polyzoo is asking a bit of an unusual question, so it's totally understandable if you don't have an answer. Try to introduce a friend to mechanical keyboards and look for something that's in the $50 range, full size, hotswap PCB, RGB lighting. There's some cheap, something within those constraints. Personally, no, I don't really have suggestions in that. I know there's a TKL or two, the GMMK. That would probably work, but it's a TKL. I would try, if you could, to convince yourself, talk to your friend and be like, I know you want this numpad because you think it's a necessary feature, because all quote unquote all keyboards have it, but like, Do you use it? Are you going to use this for gaming if you like RGB? Would you prioritize larger mouse space, perhaps, so you can lower your DPI like all the Counter-Strike pros and start opping foos in the head, if you know what I'm saying? So maybe try to get them in, because all that kind of can fit for a TKL. I just don't know any full sizes that really work in that range. Good luck in convincing your friend. Hopefully your friend enjoys the journey, and once he starts getting onto these mechanical switcheroos, he's like, I know what you're talking about now. I know why you're crazy. I want to be crazy too. One Oscar is asking, what happened to box switches that got removed from Novelkeys? Would still be interested in buying some. What happened to the box switches? Most likely, Mike just has them in a box somewhere. I mean, he probably has them in the same bins that they have been. Like, it's not like they disappeared from his store. From his physical store. He just decided he doesn't want to sell them because he does not want to be responsible for any harm caused to other people's keycaps, and he doesn't want to be responsible for anyone being upset that has happened to, which is completely fair. If you want box switches, he is planning on restocking all of his box switches batch by batch, because he's going to be ordering the new ones with the reduced x-axis thickness and y-axis thicknesses on the stems. So if you can wait, I highly recommend to try to wait for that when you get a chance. Let's see. A Blind Assassin, they don't need lube from your testing. Smoothest you've ever used, which is awesome. Lube may make them better, but never tried. I don't know. I haven't used them, so hard for me to say. It's good to hear that you are saying that. I need personal verification. I mean, I've talked about this before. Brian doesn't really like talking about this because he doesn't like to seem as elitist as I do, but like Brian and I know there's plenty of times where we go to meetups and people are like, oh, we hear you guys like lubing. Check out my lubed keyboard, and it's inconsistent, or it's over lubed, or it's under lubed, and we can be picky about that, and I'm picky about that too when it comes to switches to a degree. If I know it can be improved, I'm okay with that, as long as it can be improved. And from what it sounds like you're saying, it has improvability, like it's smooth enough where it's fine and can be improved to be great. Sounds promising. I don't have any Alps either where I'd put them in, so that's a discussion for future Huey. Raging Asians asking, you heard SPDSA is slightly larger stems due to having an account for users mounting them in any orientation. Could you ask SP about this? I could ask SP about this, and I will for you, Raging Asian. I will. I can definitely do that. I mean, I have a DSA set, DSA Galaxy, and I can measure them myself. I know their tolerances. I don't think they're any bigger because Melissa has explicitly told me all their cruciforms for MX have been the same since the 70s with the same tolerances, and they don't plan on changing them. That's verbatim what she said to me. So I don't think they are. I can measure them to verify, but from what I have from the first-hand account I have from Melissa at Signature Plastics, who, if you don't know, is basically their account rep, their main outreach person. That's what they say and what they're claiming. They've released their public specs for their Switch cruciforms, which is cool. So they have that as well. So, yeah, awesome. What builds do you guys have coming up? Do any of you guys have some cool keyboard builds coming up, or some cool keyboard projects, whether it's a hand wire project, whether it's, slapping together something simple. Maybe simple to you, but still could be something really, really cool. I'm always interested in seeing what different people in the community are building at different times, because I'm gonna have different things building up too. Like I said earlier, gotta rebuild this soon. It's gonna be a good time. Lumens, you want to make a custom TKL, but you're waiting for a good kit to come out. Not bad. NGL, desoldering box switches. Bug Whisper, waiting on Keyblade. If I was there Monday, got a detailed tour how they do everything. Can tell these the same standard DSAs as everything else. Yeah, that's okay. That's what I expected. That's what I've basically been told. Itsundon. Orion, Jane V2, number 2? Maybe. If you're asking me which one I prefer out of all of those, probably Jane V1. That's not an option. But they're all great, to be honest. They're all like pretty great. Place turret here. I did my first build ever. I think it was the 4-key Osu keypad, hand-wired blue Alps. I think you posted that on the pictures channel on Discord. It was 2. It had the space in the middle. It was a white, I think, PLA plastic 3D printed that you did, and he had an RGB light on one end where the cable connected. I think that was the one. I don't know if it was PLA plastic. It looked like it. I could be wrong. Awesome. What else we got? Grog, you're still waiting on your plate PCB for your SMK build. SMK whites or blues? SMK whites or blues? You got it. That's a big detail. Big difference between the two. Which one is it? That's really cool. Baby feeds. JD40, Alps 64, DZ60, hand wire, and a QFRI. Wowie zowie. You're keeping yourself busy, baby feet. That's good to hear. Blind Assassin, hand wire, and a custom aluminum case. Really great. Not sighted on switches. Thought, though, it was going to use Royals. Oof. Rip. Pooch, you got the white TXCP coming in 1 to 2 months. Decided to wait. New box switches, though. Yeah. The white looks pretty good for those TXs. Pretty good TXs. One Oscar. You'll be getting one Aquaria keyboards anodized, and another one possibly chrome. You'll also get a Chinese award. You will powder coat. Oof. That is going to be pretty awesome. Awesome. Getting Skyo Temu's tomorrow, Rage Nation. You're making meme switches with the Alias Tems. Very interesting. Tell me how that goes. Nabelin, the server rack keyboard you posted in Discord. I went out to John for a custom poly case. That's gonna be really cool. I hope you like that. Grog using SMK whites. Really cool. Let's see. Got some white on black, some Max Keys SA. Cool beans. Gotta Katie, finish up your E6 since EBT Japanese black came in. It's an oof. I hope to see that on KB Pick channel, my dude. I hope to see it there. Oh, Grog, he's a white MX mounts. Okay, there we go. Region Nation, you already do. Alias stems are so bad, purely for aesthetics. Donut, you're packing heck keys right now, looking to have the last of the US orders out tomorrow. Good job with that quick shipping. I think it was quick. Heck keys didn't seem that long ago. Visibility of the tomb, how is it gonna make it loud? Yeah. Keeping the trackball. Nebulin, you better keep the trackball. Like, a keyboard's almost pointless without it. Turrets getting a 4-year kit. Not sure what switches you'll put in it. I'll have some mod L's and Kale Speed pinks. We will see. Oof. What switches should I put in this? This is gonna be the big question. Actually, the big question is, do I have a case to store my my freaking E6? Because I'm not gonna be using the E6 after the stream. After the stream, this boards go away. Do I always use exclusive gloves when I type on my new? No, I don't. I don't use the gloves when I type. I only use the gloves when I pick it up and move it. Otherwise, it stays in one spot on my desk, and I just type on it. Yeah. How are you liking the all brass beauty? I am absolutely loving it. I know where I'm going to put it. Hold on. I have this display box, and look, it has lights, 4 lights. There you go. This is where I'm gonna put it, and this does fit the 60%. I don't know if you guys have seen. I've used this for pictures before, so I guess I'll just put the keyboard in here. So that's cool. Huey, has there always been a beam spring there? There has always been a beam spring there. So I'm really liking it. Well, where did I get the box from? I just got it from Amazon. That box is supposed to be for like model cars. and like model cars and like small model crafts that you want to show off. But it doesn't come with a card. It's just like the box with lights, and it has either can be charged with 3 or 4 AAA batteries, or there's like a USB mini port, so you can always keep it on and keep it constant power. But I just got it for keyboards because I'm a nerd. Yeah, so I'll probably put it in there. That's what I was saying, but yeah, Blind Assassin, actually, quite a while ago. Yeah, I got the beam spring quite a while ago. I do pull it out every now and then when I'm not going to review. I do have the solenoid installed and working on it, which sounds great. I have the typing sounds on the channel somewhere. Ugh. Heavy. Shiny. Yes, I only put my gloves on when I pick it up and move it. Otherwise, when I'm typing on it, I leave my gloves off. Which actually, I do get fingerprints on the side of the keyboard, especially the left side when I game. I was gaming with this last night, and sometimes I rest my fingers on the side of the case. And of course, when I do that, I'm getting fingerprints on it. Any other questions before we wrap up this slightly quicker than usual episode? I know you guys miss Brian. I miss him too, because he's a pretty Gucci guy. What switches are in there right now? Right now in this E6 V2 Founders Edition, all brass, number 18 out of 18. I have lubed Holy Pandas. So for my build, I have one leftover Holy Panda. It's cute. Where is Brian? Brian is in Idaho for vacation. He's just taking a few days off. He's with his girlfriend, taking a few days off, enjoying life for a little bit. He'll be back, I think, by the end of the weekend, I believe. Payway, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime subscription. Same with you, the Bezel King and Poner Later and Place Turret here. Everyone who's subscribed so far, thank you so much, because all of your support means a lot to us, because it means we can keep the show running. Brian has a girlfriend? Yes, he does. Mouse is fine. That's an interesting question, but I feel like I'm ethically not allowed to answer it on Twitch, so I won't. So, at the end of the day, hope you guys enjoyed the show, enjoyed keyboards, and enjoy each other. As we leave, there's one thing I want everyone to keep in mind. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Is a Pop-Tart a sandwich? Or is a BLT the only sandwich? That's what I want. That's the message I want to leave you all with today. Thank you everyone so much for joining me. Next week at 6 p.m. Pacific, we will have Brian back. I don't know why I always point the wrong way. It's like flipped on my screen, that's why. We will have Brian back next to me right over here, and it's going to be a great time. Next week, watch out, because Brian's going to do an awesome Seattle recap with b-randen, who's also been a guest on this show before. Absolutely wonderful speaker, and even better individual in real life. He absolutely wonderful person. Thank you everyone so much who subscribed. Thank you everyone so much for watching this episode today. I'll catch you on Discord. Hope to see you guys soon. Stay classy.